Don't go and be that person who wants to go to a different country but you want to eat the food that you have at home. You paid for the trip. You worked hard to go on the trip. Or if someone has blessed you, okay? The good Lord used them to bless you to go on the trip. Like, make sure you at least do the stuff that you're just not copy and pasting what everyone else is doing. But then when you actually leave the borders and you see the other type of challenges that they have, you might think about it twice to be like, yeah, we have our issues, nah, but I ain't living with those issues. Like, nah, fam, that's alright. So fam, I actually thought, let me just do a quick video. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be quick, but we'll see. A mini chit chat. If your thoughts were in the same WhatsApp group as mine, okay? So the first thing would be the freedom of traveling as a South African. Yes, I know we don't have the blue passport or whatever passports like some of our other how do I say this, other countries who've been colonized have, okay? We did like a tour of the PP Island, and I actually spoke to a woman who is from Russia, and just the way she explained to me in terms of where it is that they can go, how difficult it is to get into certain countries just for traveling, whether it's for work or like just for holiday. And again, it just made me realize how grateful we are to be able to have the choice. I think that is the room service, but to be able to have the choice to actually go and travel. Other countries, yes, we wish we had other privileges, but at the same time, we have so many options available. Sometimes if you do check out on the news, they would say, okay, per the latest standings, like this is like the passport that gives you the most access. The more access a passport has from a certain country, the higher the ranking. They would usually say in the whole world, like these are the top spot for like the top 5, but then they'll sometimes say like this is from an African perspective, these African countries have gives you more access to either no visa needed or like the visa on arrival, versus the level of entry is a lot more stringent. That's what I wanted to say. I'll include like this index that I'm talking about. You only notice these things when you actually want to go and plan a trip. The second one, it actually brings me to the other one that I wanted to say, but let's just make that number 2. Be open to speaking to new people. Don't just stick, and I said this I think in my Ghana vlog, I think I said it in my London vlog as well. Be open when you travel to meet new people, to speak to people, even if you're doing a day tour. Find out like what type of countries or nationalities are they, because also they can be of a certain nationality, but then they grew up in another country, and then they studied in another country, and then they worked in another. So for me, as someone, I would say I'm a avid traveler, is also the fact that when you speak to those people from those countries that you would like to go, or countries that they've already been to, they can actually tell you first-hand experience, don't go there, or don't go there at a certain time like winter or summer, or like go there when there's like a certain type of festival or something. Like, they are the people who would save you so much time, so much money, so much energy and stress and everything else, because their first-hand experience is probably the best review that you could find even online. When you do your research, I've now realized with this specific trip, with the Ghana one, I was full on just all on Instagram and all on like vlogs to make sure, especially because I traveled alone. But with this one, it was our first time as a family to experience South Korea and to experience Thailand. And in order for me to not take away of having to experience things for the first time, I didn't want to overdo it when it comes to researching things. Practical example, it's okay if you say go on a blog and you read, okay, these are the top 10 places. Mind you, make sure it's a reputable source. Just make sure that, say you read like from different resources, okay, different blogs or publications, you read 5 different ones and all of them mention at least one name like in every single one that's like in the top 5, then you know this is definitely like the top place to go. The difference between researching in like an article that you have to read versus like something that's a video. Sometimes with the video, do be aware that it can take away from you experiencing it for yourself for the first time, because now you already see it online. So sometimes what I would do is nowadays, especially with this one, I didn't watch like all the vlogs. I would just like skip through. I don't want to see it, but I just want to know, because not all of them put in like, they didn't put in chapters, so they want you to watch the whole one in order. So I would just keep through. I don't want to see everything. And then there's certain things where I was like, everyone's saying the same things, and also everyone's doing the same thing. What are some of the things that I have yet to see anywhere? Those are the things that I want to do. Also, you need to remember, when you do travel, make sure you customize your trip as much as you possibly can. You paid for the trip. You worked hard to go on the trip. Or if someone has blessed you, okay, the good Lord used them to bless you to go on the trip. Like, make sure you at least do the stuff that you're just not copy and pasting what everyone else is doing. And now, by the time, say you like wanna, I don't know, create content, or you wanna give someone else advice, now they also go and do the same thing. Like, but again, each one to their own. I'm a type of person, I wanna, yes, I can do like, I'm a mixed bag. I'm a lucky packer, that's what you call it. As a kid, we used to get these lucky packers with like different sweets, but you don't know which one you're gonna get, or the color might be slightly different than what my sisters maybe got in their lucky packet. Now that's what I want to do with like traveling in my experiences. When I go, I do a mixed bag of like what everyone definitely does. Like, that's like the top 5. You have to do those things, at least maybe 2 or 3 out of it. But then say this, I'll do 2 of the things that I haven't seen anywhere, or at least online. So like, something unique. Be open to eating different cuisine. I will say this, in Thailand, I've heard some mixed reviews before coming here. One would be that make sure you don't go to a store, especially if you do like street food, where they sell fruit but they also sell hot food, because some people get like this Bangkok belly, or like they tummy runs and things like that. But I would say, from a cuisine perspective, don't go and be that person who wants to go to a different country but you want to eat the food that you have at home, or you expect to eat the same food. You're in a different like border. So please don't be that person. Like, then you might as well just stay at home and watch the people vlogging, if you want to be at home and then have the same food. Like, don't be that tourist. If you really want to experience a country, or a new place, or even a new city in your own country, there's a few ways how you can do it. It's through the language that the people speak, the way that they eat, the cuisine that they have, and then there was another one. It was cuisine, language, the music that they listen to, and then also like they mannerisms. What we notice, and this is like a difference in Thailand specifically, I'm starting to like get used to it now, so it's confusing, but just bear with me. What you usually use a fork for, that becomes a spoon. The function of the fork is now your spoon, and then your function of your fork is now the knife. Yeah, so everywhere that you go, especially in Thailand, there are some places who would give you a knife, but for the most part you'll probably get a spoon and a fork. Do not be alarmed, that is just normal. You might also get chopsticks, but you won't get a knife anywhere, or everywhere. Let me say that, you won't get it everywhere. And it was interesting to see how we had to adapt based on the cutlery, because in South Korea it's like everywhere there you get like a spoon, and then you get chopsticks, but the chopsticks are like the same materials that are used for, as we know, cutlery in SA, like back home, like a knife and fork, but it's just chopsticks. It's not like wooden chopsticks. That was actually quite cool. Anyway, so that is something that I actually noticed, and I would say adjusted quite well. And then another thing that I wanted to say is, what do you spend your money on? So I have in case you don't know, now I'm going to tell you. I do have a podcast. It's all about like finances, your mindset, but like day-to-day stuff. Not like you saving, but what are you saving for? What's your mindset? Like, you know, can you handle what God is blessing you with? Or is it a case of your mind has not caught up to your bank accounts, you know, enlargement of life, if you get what I'm saying. But anyway, I have a podcast there. And then like with traveling, I would say this. What do you spend your money on? If you think about the money that you spend on alcohol and partying, especially those things, or like clothing brands, you clothed out head to toe. okay, and you are wearing the best things, you're eating at the most expensive restaurants, but you have not gone out of the borders of SA. Why? Okay, what doesn't, for me personally, does not make sense is if people are so eager to spend like 20,000 on one weekend just on alcohol alone. But then when you ask them, when are you planning to go to a country, they're like, it's too expensive. That does not make sense. It also depends on what is important for you. If it's important for you to go and explore and travel the world and to gain some perspective on some countries and the stereotypes around certain people, or you just want to explore and see how other people live and how they do what they do and how they have built their countries and what is important for them and how their cuisine tastes like or how their belief systems are different from yours, like if that is important for you, then I would say if you can try and travel. There are many vloggers, there are many content creators, travel journalists out there who would give you so many tips, including me, of like how you can do that for any type of budget. But if I can encourage you is to travel, like go and explore what life has to offer. This world is so big. It gives you a better perspective on what we have back home, and it also changes your view, because sometimes you think like the grass is always greener on the other side, but then when you actually leave the borders and you see the other type of challenges that they have, you might think a bit twice. You'll be like, yeah, we have our issues now, but I ain't living with those issues. Like, nah fam, that's alright. Me, it's fine. I'm grateful. Yes, I'm in SA. Yes, we still have load shedding and all those things, but it could have been worse. We thank God it could have been worse, okay? So I would say, if I can really encourage you, and I hope this, even if this is the only thing that you get out of this video, is be open to exploring and be open to traveling. And those are my tips. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys. Bye.